Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, come in, come in, come into the room and to the conversation. This evening, we have an exclusive interview with my nephew, your friend, and your brother, the one who gets on my nerves. No, none other than Christian David, who is embarking upon a special event that's going to be happening this weekend. So let's welcome Christian to the stage. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, I need you to be a little more excited than that.
What's going on, Unc?
Um, Nothing much and a whole lot all at the same time. Listen, nephew, you got a lot going on, but you have been able to return home for summer break. How's that been going?
It's been busy in a great way. I've been able to help out with quite a bit and attend quite a bit. I feel like I've successfully scratched my church itch because I don't get to scratch it back east where I'm living.
Right.
I'm used to conferences and revivals and conventions and convocations, and that's just not a lot. That's not happening a lot where I live, and so that's been nonstop since I've been back. So as a church kid, been thoroughly enjoying that. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
And you just reminded me about something. I forgot to pull B-roll for the conference coming up in September. All right. Shameless plug. Yes, we'll be in conference September the 12th through the 15th. And so, those of you in the Central Valley and surrounding areas, all roads converge and lead to Moments of Blessings House of Prayer Church of Fresno for three exciting evenings, but four services. We have a special Saturday service. We'll talk more about that in another broadcast. But this time we have set aside to talk about something very special, Christian, that you are doing, and that is on Saturday, this coming Saturday evening, you are doing a live recording. But tell us
Mhm.
how this recording gets different than previous other ones you've done.
Yeah, this isn't just a third album for me. This is technically a school project.
Hmm.
This is my capstone project for my graduation from the Berklee College of Music. So yeah, this project is carrying a lot of weight in behind it, a lot of expectations, and quite a few professors looking to review it when it's done.
So let's help our viewers and listeners out with that. Those who probably have not matriculated in the halls of higher education, and I mean this to know. I don't mean to offend anybody, but if it's language you're not used to, explain what a capstone is.
Well, the capstone would be the
The
equivalent of what would
culmination,
be
right?
like, yeah, culmination project. Would it would be for those who are maybe not familiar with that term, but are familiar with the term a dissertation at
Right.
another university. It would be the equivalent of that. So it pretty much encapsulates everything that you've been studying
Also,
uh,
all yeah.
all year.
Mhm.
All 4 years for 4 year major. Because I'm a pro music major at
Mm.
Berkeley, and so as a pro music major, we have to take audio classes, we have to take business classes, we have to take sound classes, in addition to whatever two tracks that we choose, which mine were songwriting and musical theater. And so at the end, when you turn in your capstone project, your project engulfs everything that you've been studying up until that point.
So you answered a question I was going to ask. For those of you again who are unfamiliar, there is a lot riding on this because a capstone project means that Christians should have amassed some level of mastery or experience or expertise in the field or genre he's in. So yes, this is more than just an evening of making music. It's also going to speak to his artistry, to his musicianship as a songwriter, performer, and all of that. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Tell us how you are handling all of this.
If I'm being honest, I'm kind of numb right now because I'm
Yeah.
in business mode, and we got to get this stuff that's got to get done. And so it's probably not going to hit until I get on stage to sing.
Okay.
Up until that point, I'm just working.
So tell us what we can expect. Tell us who some of your invited guests are um, for the
Well,
Saturday evening.
yeah. Well, the title of this recording and the project is Churching with the Saints. And
Oh,
so
good.
to start there, this project is going to number one, pay tribute and homage to the legacy of gospel music. A lot of people have, tend to think that gospel music, the traditional sound of gospel music, it has died or is dying because there's a new generation coming up. But no, we have just as much of an affection and love for the traditional sound of gospel as the older saints and the seasoned saints do. And so this project is going to, like I said, pay tribute to that. While at the same time telling my own personal church journey
Mm,
and chronicling my
good.
own church journey, and that of I grew up Church of God in Christ till I was about 14, 15. Then after that, I ended up at a Baptist / full gospel ministry, so, which was Pearly Grove, and got the best of both worlds there. I was there for about 5 years. Then the Lord moved me to another church that had no musicians. And so it's just, either all a cappella or we were singing on top of tracks. And when I say we were singing on top of tracks, I don't mean instrumental tracks. We turned the song on and sang on top of that. And so we did that. I was there for about a good 5 years. Then ended up with the Apostolics in the Pentecostal assemblies of the world. I was there for 7 years. And so on this project, you're going to get Kojic, you're going to get Baptist, you're going to get full gospel, you're going to get apostolic, you're going to get every representation from every major organization and denomination out there that God has blessed me and allowed me to be exposed to. And in terms of guests, God has really blessed me to be able to connect with and have Roman Collins, the 2024 American Idol top 12 finalist,
Yeah.
coming to Fresno for this to be a part of this project. And there's some other individuals coming that you'll have to be in the room to see who who they are. But yeah, it's going to
Okay.
be an exciting evening.
Well, that sounds awesome. I, of course, Believe Radio and myself will be also in the building for that wonderful
Yes,
time of
I'm
praise.
sorry. He is. I don't know which way they can see, but prophet, overseer, station owner, Believe Radio, Jonathan Archie is one of my hosts for that evening, in addition to Ashlyn Cole from Freedom Radio. So I got two major West Coast
Definitely.
stations represented that night. So
Yeah.
yes.
And Ashley is a great sister and friend, and I mean that in all sincerity. So we're definitely looking forward to having that time of fellowship with you all. Um, Tell me this: as you are embarking upon the closure of this season in your life, as far as being in school, what's next? What are in your plans for the coming immediate future?
Well, I'm applying to graduate school,
All right.
and that was not in my plan. That was not. I'm telling you now. Anybody that knows me, and especially those that I've been
I thought about it.
connected
I ain't
to.
gonna lie. I kind of knew you would do it. At least
Uh,
I was encouraging you to do it.
Yeah, if those that I've been in connection and contact with in Boston that I've been going to school with, will tell you I had no plans on applying to graduate school. I was going to Berkeley. I was going to graduate, move to New York, get an agent, and try to run to Broadway. And the Lord changed those plans around April. And so I've literally been following what He's been telling me to do, much like when I started the process to go to Berkeley,
Yeah.
and he's been laying things in order. So yeah, I'm applying to grad school starting next month, and we'll see what happens.
So let's walk down that discovery, right? Okay. So after what 2.5 years at Berkeley?
A year.
A year. Okay. After
Yeah.
you're at Berkeley, um, after doing what you've done, being a part of off Broadway shows, being a part of other events and productions, right? Why do you think? I think I have an idea. But I'll add my 2 cents. But why do you think there was a gravitational pull towards finishing up grad school?
I don't know. I really don't know, and I'm being 100% honest, because when the Lord told me to do that, I was like, I told the Lord, I was like, no, I didn't come here to go to grad school. I came here to go to Berkeley, graduate, go to New York. That's what I came here to do. But he wouldn't let off of it, and so I had to literally start. I was like, okay, I don't even know where to start looking, where grad schools are concerned and how the application process goes. And so he literally guided me through all that through that. I went and talked to my academic advisor and all of that. But right now, looking at everything right now, I believe there are some more things, some final things, if you will, that the Lord wants to fine tune in other areas for whatever this is. Whatever direction this is, he's taking me in.
So let me put my 2 cents in the hat. I'm a believer that we're living in what some would say perilous times. Of course, yet we have we're in a great season of sorrow and challenge, but I also believe we're in a great season of opportunity. And I believe that one of those opportunities that God has afforded us is for kingdom infiltration. I believe that the reason why there is a shift in our paradigm is because God wants to position us in key places of influence, whether it be in the marketplace, whether it be in business, whether it be in the education. There are 7 mountains of influence, right? And of course, arts and media and entertainment is one, education is another, government, religion, and so forth. But I believe that because of your gifting and your skill set, you are an influencer, right? So it's like, yes, you can limit yourself to just being an actor or an artist, but I believe that there's a greater purpose at work of influence, and I think that credential will give you access to a lot of doors where you couldn't walk before. So yeah, I see it twofold as a great opportunity for you.
Yeah, 100%, 100% agree. And to add to that, going to a place like Berkeley, I didn't really know what I was walking into because there's a lot of assumptions
Yeah, yeah,
about the environment and
right.
everything, but run into a lot of believers,
Yeah,
and I believe that God is doing something not just at Berkeley, but on these various campuses. And I think the thing about it is there's a lot of us who go to these campuses and we feel like we're alone and we're isolated, but we really don't know how many other fellow believers there actually are around waiting to connect with others. I was a part of another young lady's capstone project last semester.
okay.
She sent a message out to several of us who she knew were believers, and she was recording a music video. Because the beautiful thing about Berkeley, and with being a pro music major, your capstone project can literally be whatever it is you want it to be that pertains to your career post Berkeley.
Got you.
So it could be a music video, it could be a senior recital concert, it could be a tour that you put together
So it's
and go
broad.
on. Yeah, it could be like anything. And so for this, it turned out to be an album. But anyway, she asked me if I would be a part of the music video that she was recording in one of the studios at there on campus. I said, of course. And it was it was a sacrifice because it was towards the end of the semester, and those studios get booked up real fast. So the only time that was available was 2 a.m. So,
All right.
so, so I had to go. I had to go home, get back, 3 hours of sleep, and then get up and be in the studio at Berkeley at 3 a.m. And I walk in, and everybody else is just bright. Hey, Christian! I was like, don't talk to me right now. And so, but we got in there, and her testimony before she put this really nice worship medley together. And her testimony before she started was, she said, when I first came to Berkeley, I thought I was going to be all alone. I did not know that there were other believers here. She said, but as I have grown and as I have continued in my education and connected with all of you, she said, I just really thank God that he has ambassadors here that are not ashamed to represent him, and that we are afforded this opportunity. And so we sang, and when I tell you, just the glory of the Lord really fell in that studio. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment of worship. But to show you how the enemy works, the engineer recorded all of that on his hard drive, and somebody broke in his car, and that was the only thing that got stolen. Was that hard?
Wow.
Was that hard drive?
Wow. That's amazing. God is good.
And so she had to go back, and she asked those of us that could come back and redo it. to do it again. I couldn't go that second time, but she pieced together what she could from the first one and the second one, and came and had a beautiful, beautiful project. But yeah, so saying that to say, there, people would be surprised how many believers there are on these campuses that are yet waving the banner for the Lord, unashamed. And so,
Well,
yeah, I'm in this place, Lord, wherever you lead me. Yeah.
well, I want to say a couple of things, and I know, and for those who don't know, yes, I mean, I really treat Christian like he is blood, so I'm hard on him a lot. I am, and I publicly admit it. Yes, to the world, I am excessively. I'm not abusive, but I'm excessively hard on him. Anyway,
That is very true.
it's because I have to help tame, this unbridled energy and passion that he has. At least I think I have to. But I want to say something in the form of a compliment. From the time that you went to Berkeley, I want to compliment you and commend you for staying focused. There are a lot of different things that could have taken your focus, a lot of different things that you have had to walk through and experience that made you stand firm on your faith, that made you trust God even more. I commend you for that, because it's in situations like that where people go astray, right? Or they find other purposes and passions for their life, but you remained true to the call that God placed on you. And I remember the send off. I remember it so well. And I just want to say thank you for having the love for the Lord. And that kind of is a segue into Saturday night's project. Um, Everybody knows that you are hardworking, that you are generous in spirit. What does this, outside of the educational component, what does this weekend really mean for you as a person? How does it speak to you in your passion?
I really believe this is a culmination of my journey up until now. This really is, because there's some tributes that are going to be going on that Saturday night, and I want to say a lot, but but I also don't,
Now you got
because
to give us a little
I
bit, a
want
little teaser.
I want
Come on,
people,
you got to give us a
because I'll
little.
tell you, I'll tell you this, like, because I let it leak a couple of weeks ago already. Like, the choir I started a few years ago, the Blackout Fellowship, they're singing that night.
Oh,
There,
awesome.
I'm
I love
featuring
the
them on a,
choir. Hey, Dave,
yeah.
if you're listening, you owe me a call. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, jeez. The
No, he
Blackout
really does.
Fellowship.
He texted me. He owes me a call. But go ahead.
The Blackout Fellowship is singing, and that's just another piece of me, and another part of me, that God has been, using, and using to bless the Fresno community. And now this is going to be their introduction to the world. And so things like that, like bits and pieces, because I know I already talked about, it's going to be, it's going to kind of tell my denominational journey, but also my
Right.
personal journey, up
Listen,
until this
hold on.
point.
Pause. That in and of itself, right? That in and of itself is huge, to migrate through so many different reformations. Okay, is not an easy task, right? And
Yeah.
in that migration, sometimes things can attach themselves to you. Things can stick on you, right? Certain ideologies, certain persuasions, certain belief systems. How have you managed to remain true to you in the midst of you helping so many different organizations?
Um, just honestly staying with the Lord and just having an ear to hear. Um,
Mm,
and and I say that because I have to bring up my mother in this,
okay.
because yes, I've been able to go in and out of several different, like we said, reformations and all that, but that's because I watched my mom do it.
Okay.
I was with
Okay.
her. I was with her a lot when she would go. I mean, we came up Church God in Christ, so we went to the district meetings and all that. But we were also attached to Saint Rest, because that's where my grandfather went, and him and Reverend Riggins were the best of friends. And so my mother would get up and sing and say, sing with Saint Rest Choir, and then her affiliation with the Gospel Music Workshop of America, which connected us to Pearly Grove. And so my mom, and then our connection with Adeline, so she sang with Fellowship. So my mom didn't have a problem going anywhere and singing. And so I kind of picked that episode. I didn't have that same mindset that some others may have had, that, we got to stay here. My thing was, if we're singing about Jesus, if we're preaching about the Lord, I'll come fellowship with you. Yeah. Now I learned. I'm gonna say this because this was
Right.
a hard lesson I had to
Right.
learn, because I
I
wasn't
was going to
as
follow up with that. Right.
yeah, this is a hard lesson I had to learn, because I wasn't as well versed in other denominations. I was just going where, we could fellowship.
Right.
I won't say the name of the church, but I had to get up. It was at an apostolic church. I had to get up and lead worship, and I sang in my ignorance, "Holy, Holy, Holy,
Right.
Blessed Trinity," and sang it
A
loud and
Freudian slip,
proud.
right?
Yeah, I mean to sing it loud, but the people were kind to me because they knew the background I came from. And so they didn't stone me. They didn't talk about me. They didn't. As a matter of fact, one of the elders called me that next morning, that next day, and to check on me. He said, "Yeah," he said, "we sing that song a little differently." But I understand, you didn't know, and I was so embarrassed. But I learned a lesson.
Yeah.
And it taught me to familiarize myself
Learn the
with
culture of the house.
the culture and the background of what they believe, and so
Yeah.
and all of that. And so, because of experiences like that, it sucked at the time, but I can get up in a Baptist church and sing, "I love the Lord, He heard my cry,"
Right.
and then go
Right.
to an apostolic church and sing one, and one way to God. And just, because the Lord has taken me in and out, I can maneuver in and out of different spaces, and I've gained these lifelong relationships
Mhm.
that are priceless.
Let
That's
me
the
ask you
biggest
this.
thing.
Have you infused any of those expressions and experiences in your writing? Have you taken
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, especially full gospel. I love every experience I've had with every church and organization. But my time in full gospel was special, because that's really where I really developed as a worship leader and a worshiper, and got a true understanding of what worship leading is. Because if you know about full gospel, they're just
Right.
especially, with William Murphy and Bashan
Yeah.
was there at the time, but they're just drenched in it. And
Right.
so
And Bishop Paul Morton. We
yes,
can't
yes,
forget,
yes.
because not only did he found that organization, he introduced that charismatic Pentecostal flavor into the Baptist movement. Yeah.
Yeah, so my time in full gospel was real special. And so that has kind of that kind of is what has infused a lot of my writing, because a lot of my writing is worship based,
Mhm.
and some experience based, but a
Will
lot
we
of the
hear
worship based.
some of your new stuff on Saturday night?
You're gonna hear two.
Okay. All right. All
You're
right.
gonna hear two, but what you're really gonna hear Saturday is, as we talked about earlier, a lot of what I've picked up at Berkeley.
Gotcha.
I've played around with a lot of arrangements, and I've experimented with some things. I've experimented with some things, and so that's really what you're gonna see, on see and hear on Saturday.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, listen, there you have it, Brother Christian. And of course, we in our local assembly have been blessed by his life and ministry. Those of you in the Fresno area, Central Valley, and the West Coast at large, I know that you as well have been a benefactor of the gift of God through him. And so you want to do yourself a favor. Tell us, Brother Christian, more information about Saturday night. Is it a free event? Do they have to get tickets? Tell us how we can attend.
It is free 99.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Now, the
FREE.
whole place better be packed out, because y'all like free stuff. Come on, Saints.
I mean, and when was the last time I got to go to a free live recording?
Listen, hold on. In a pretty good one at that, because
Yes.
this is it's more elevated than a musical, right? So
Yeah.
the presentation is going to be really good. So yes, thank you for giving that to us.
Yes. It's free. It is at my home church, Moments of
Shout
Blessing
out
Church
to
in
Moments of
Fresno.
Blessings, and
Where?
shout out to our fearless pastor.
Yes.
the one and
Yes,
the only, the
overseer
doctor,
doctor,
Marie
the
Archie.
living legend. So
Did you see how she ministered on Sunday?
I I
Post.
did.
Listen, she is still in recovery under doctor's care, but she said, "I'm going to church and I'm gonna preach." Mother
I'm well.
preached
What
on
she
Sunday.
which
Those you all who don't follow us, go on YouTube and Facebook and look at that lesson from Dr. Archie. I mean, just to see her flowing at this age in her life is just a gift. It's a blessing.
when she walked in 2 weeks ago, post surgery, walked in
Right,
after a knee replacement.
right.
I'm like,
Yeah,
who does that?
he's unreal.
Who?
Yeah,
I know people my age who are bedridden for like 6 to 8 weeks after after knee surgery or some kind of. Anyway, she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. But anyway, yes, the recording will be here at my home church. Absolutely, absolutely free.
well, I want to say this too. Mentioning her, um, she's taken a very special and fond attention towards you. I don't know why. I don't know why she loves you. I don't. I really don't. I have almost tried to sabotage.
I believe it. I believe it.
No, I have. I'm just
I,
playing.
I believe
She
it.
really loves you as if she was your maternal grandmother. Tell us about that unique and special relationship. Are you a millennial? Did I say that right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Tell us about the relationship there.
I'm glad you asked that because I'm going to share something I haven't gotten an opportunity to share. My last Sunday before I moved, I sang, um, and she walked up and she hugged me, and she had these special words. She said, she said, I haven't felt like this. She said, I almost feel like I had him. She said, but but the Lord brought him, and he's been such a blessing. And I went to the live stream and I screen recorded just that little bit because that was so special to me. And every
Mhm.
so often, I'll go back and watch that
Yeah,
because she literally has become like another grandmother to me, and
yeah,
so I love her so much. And what I love, aside from my personal relationship with her, what I love so much is that she's opened herself up, which a lot of seasoned saints don't,
yeah,
um, to being open to having conversations with the younger generations. And she's always, one thing she tells me constantly, she said, I want to keep learning. She said,
yeah,
I want to keep learning about what it is that you all are doing and you're experiencing. She said, I want to keep up with that. And so because she's taking that stance and that mindset, anything that comes up, it's never just automatically shut down. She listens and there's a conversation. And one thing that she embodies that my one of my former counselors told me, which she's a clear example of it. Everybody, no matter who it is, they just want to feel like they're being heard.
right,
And if they feel like they're being heard or they've been heard, they're open up to a conversation and an exchange. And Pastor Marie, Dr. Overseer Marie Archie, when you're having a talk with her, she makes you feel like, and it's not just a feeling, it's
right.
genuine. She's
It's genuine.
hearing you.
Yeah,
She's hearing you. She wants to hear what you have to say and how you feel and take those into account. And so, because of that, she's embraced the millennial and the Gen Z demographic. And whatever we come up with, if it's glorifying the Lord and building the kingdom of the church, she's like,
yeah,
go on and do it. I
yeah,
snapped a picture of her when Mark Moore came the first time, and they were upstairs laughing and talking. It was just for a quick minute, but they were
right,
laughing. I snapped that picture because it was another special moment of seeing that
right.
anybody that comes through, she
Anybody.
embraces them, and she leaves an impact that
Yeah.
is undeniable.
I appreciate you saying that. And, no, I didn't mean to turn this into a conversation about pastor. However, I think it's so important that everybody understands that what you are doing, you're able to do because of the village who supports you. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, this coming Saturday night at
Mhm. Five
7
o'clock.
p.m., 5 o'clock. See,
5 o'clock.
I was going to be late at
That's
5 o'clock. I was
God.
going to show up at a whole different time. 5 o'clock this
And
coming
walk in
Saturday night.
proudly.
This Saturday night at Moments of Blessings, Church of Fresno, is a free concert featuring Christian David and friends, etc. I don't know what he has planned, but we will be in the house, and we are going to be there to support and do our part in letting Christian know and the community know that Believe Radio Fresno is your community station for all things gospel and inspiration. Christian, thank you for taking time out and for having this dialogue and chat. Are there any other final words you would like to share to those who are listening? We have a great viewership tonight. Anything that you want to share as we close this segment out?
Bring your tambourine.
If you got
a tambourine that you ain't been able to use and you just been itching, bring your tambourine on Saturday night. Yes, bring your tambourine.
Bring your tambourine. First of all, bring yourself, bring your family, bring your kids, bring your frenemies, your enemies, bring your foes, bring everybody. Because there's going to be some part of that service that's going to touch everybody who shows up. All right. There you've heard it here on Believe Radio Fresno. Our exclusive interview with Brother Christian David, artist Christian David. Again, we commend you. We wish you Godspeed. We're excited about your future, sincerely, and what God has in store. Keep doing what you're doing. All right.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night.